last year. Did you see that? What was AI generated, where they brought his voice back and he was able to make his endorsement for Jesse Jackson Jr. There were a lot of people who thought there wasn't a ton of polling in this race, but thought that Jackson Jr. had the front line here.
Well, I mean, that's understandable because he used to represent the district. He's got probably universal name recognition. I think a lot of folks lost track of him after he had his legal troubles and went off to federal prison. But you know, this district is one that I think is craving and certainly has supported a very stable, ethical, no controversy member of Congress and Robin Kelly now for 13 years. And the question is whether or not they believed in the redemption and second chances, and whether or not they were going to support Jesse Jackson Jr. And did he do enough in the vote-rich areas of the South suburbs to tell his story and bring out the voters? And we're looking at the numbers tonight, and it seems like he's going to come up short.
We want to also bring you a live view from Riley headquarters, Brendan Riley. He is speaking now. He, of course, running against Tony Preckwinkle for Cook County Board President. Let's listen in.
And he is conceding, we understand, as well.
Vacant, blighted lots, back into economic engines for our neighborhoods. And crucially, we must continue advocating for common sense amendments to the Safety Act and our electronic monitoring programs to ensure repeat offenders, violent offenders are kept off of our streets. These are the issues that dictate whether we are better off next week than we were last. As a party, we must remember our core responsibilities for the future. Democratic voters want competence, safety, and easier access to basic government services. My commitment to this city and this county is completely unbroken. I will continue to fight for Cook County residents in any way that I can, advocating for the pragmatic, essential policies we championed throughout this race. Before we wrap up tonight, I want to take a moment to acknowledge a profound tragedy that struck our county today. This morning, we lost a Chicago firefighter and EMT, Michael Altman, who died from the severe burns and injuries he suffered yesterday while bravely fighting a fire in Rogers Park. We owe an immeasurable debt of gratitude to Michael for his ultimate sacrifice. We are reminded of the critical, life-saving importance of all the first responders who put their lives
trying to run for office. I mean, like, if World War III doesn't happen. But, like, and I'm going to be honest, like, so, like, in terms of, like, oh, I went to, like, okay, fine, how about this? You smash monopolies, actually, like, smash them, not just, like, tax billionaires. Get rid of billionaires altogether. Have a wealth cap of $5 million. Or, like, having a digital bill of rights to actually online privacy. Yeah.
Do you you're bringing up there that like billionaires shouldn't exist? Oh. And we heard Kat, she talked about that openly on the campaign trail. Do you feel? I mean, and there was a lot of outside spending here against Kat in this race. Do you feel like her position on that particular issue is what got a lot of that outside spending in here, or really where do you see that motivation for that outside spending coming from? I mean, we've seen a lot of it come from AIPAC, obviously, but other groups as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is because of that I do think it's like saying billionaires shouldn't do it, which it shouldn't, because I'm going to be honest, not only is it immoral, it's a national security threat. Look what's going on right now. Elon Musk, who's about to become a trillionaire, okay? Why are we letting that happen? Also, the Ellisons are having a media empire right now, and no one's talking, like, no one's making, they're like, oh, I don't care. I'm like, no, guys, these people, and even billionaires, like, even before the Epstein files came out, dude was hoarding vaccines. Like, he was hoarding vaccines. No one wants to talk about that shit. And he's buying up farmland. Which, by the way, like, look, actually standing up for rural America, it's pretty good. Like, standing up for rural America, actually saying, hey, we are going to help with farmers, or hey, and here's how. So example, like actually revitalize the main street, buying up all like those like dead, empty, like warehouse to be undebated, actually turning that into like, and so people don't leave. Also, in immigration. Hey, and here's how. So, for example, like actually revitalize the main street, buying up all like those like dead, empty, like warehouse to be undebated, actually turning that into like, and so people don't leave. Also, in immigration too, in terms of immigration. So, I'm actually the daughter of Nigerian immigrants. Immigration too, in terms of immigration. So, I'm actually the daughter of Nigerian immigrants. And okay, fine. How about this? No, Alex, I don't want immigrants here. Guess what? They came here because we fucked up their homes. Okay, and we're doing it forever. Their homes. Okay, and we're doing it forever. And it pisses me the fuck off. So I was like, oh, I need to be here. I'm like, okay, one, if you are not First Nation or descendant of slaves, shut up. You came here too. Y'all came here too. Don't you dare. I don't want to hear it. Don't. Also, I'm sorry. And also too, it says also white people. Stephen Miller wants to get rid of, only I have 100 million, which means 140.9 million white people also gotta go. Where are you gonna go? Like, where are you gonna go? Because I don't think Europe's gonna take it. So if you don't want to fight for other people, which I mean, if you don't, you have empathy issues, do this for self-preservation. Because guess what? Shit's gonna get worse.
Ogechi, when I walked up to you, you were checking the results so far in the race. At this point in the night, Daniel Biss has a slight lead. The last check that I did seemed like Kat had started to narrow it a little bit. How are you feeling about the state that this campaign has made? How do you feel about Kat's chances?
I'm not quite sure just yet. I mean, I guess it kind of is. And saying, hey, we need to have better stances. Or actually,
all right, so there's a lot of, I'm not sure. This poor girl sounds almost drunk, but she's passionate. I love it. So I'm going to try to go around and see what other things are going on. I'm not here talking all night. I'm just going to chime in when I can. But I figured that, you know, I've been talking about Kat Abughazaleh for months and months and months. I might as well have this stuff out live to let people know that primary is happening tonight. Illinois primaries, and we'll go to other stations to see how the rest of the state is doing, and not just focus on her. But that's where we are. That's what we're doing. Thank you for hanging out with us. Y'all have fun in the comment section. I probably will chime in every now and then. I got a lot of work going on. I just want to make sure you guys had a chance to see this.
Like a lot of these things that like people say, oh yeah, I care about it, but
I'm gonna see what else we have out here.
I guess people just don't care. Which, look, again, I am not saying that Kat is perfect. I know, I might. She is not. But it does kind of strike me as annoying. No, I wouldn't say annoying, but it just makes it odd that people are saying, hey, I just, it's just my jump side, but like, you are essentially going with the guy who, yeah, he said I didn't take 859, but he still went there. He still met with him. So he did actually want to get that.
Ogechi, anything else you would want to add while you have the platform?
Yeah. So I would say personally, people, I would say, hey, start like coming together and like trying to make your own, like coming up with policies on your own. Like, keep in mind, these people, they are not smarter. They're not smarty. They're not more politically savvy than you are. And I think that it's something I've been trying to do, coming up with other people right now, and actually like, hey, try to check it out another local. Try to form a local community. Like, try to like look at unions, like at labor organizations, or even like small like local businesses, because Yeah, I know it's tough, and I know it really it does kind of make, like, looking at the world right now, it's like, oh, does he just want to go hide in a panic room and hold this stuff in? But I think that we still have to, and it's a struggle. But when you look at like many movements before, nothing did not. If they stopped, we wouldn't have had civil rights acts, or we wouldn't have had luck. And I know it hurts when the person you did not want to wins, or the person you don't want, like something like certain vote happens. But I think that, look, I would say that or at least how I see it, is I'm still alive. So I have to fight. I still have to keep moving. And also, normal's not going to come back, guys. We have to make something happen.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate the time. I'll steal the microphone back, and I'll let you get back to the party. Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to dive back in for more interviews here. Before I do, we got to get the vote count update. Let's see here. Let's see. Illinois 9th. Not much of a change. I'm seeing a few more votes counted, but the margin remains largely the same, where we have Daniel Biss still at 30% of the vote, Pat Abughazaleh at 25%, and then Laura Fine at 20%, and the remainder, of course, being the remainder of the field, as I said, 16 candidates in this race. Going to see if I can try and get some more
race, because his credibility running for president is going to be challenged if he doesn't come.
Still, and I have to tell you, he ran 15 times. Is that right? And when I tell you, Congressman Davis had it in him to run for the 16th time, he could have. How do I know?
All right, that is LaShawn Ford declaring victory tonight. The official numbers have not come in at this moment, but we're going to take a pause to give our viewers an update on air, and we'll be right back. So stay with us. Street Studios, more Illinois primary results are rolling in. The Associated Press is projecting Darren Bailey has won the Republican race for Illinois governor.
In the Republican race for U.S. Senate, the AP projecting former state party chair Don Tracy will win. Keep it here for live election updates on air wherever you stream. Join us on our stream. We've got continuing coverage there until the news tonight at 10. We'll see you then.
Got more coming. We're gonna go to see what CBS has, and then we'll be back to status quo and see what Cat Abughazaleh's party looks looking like. But I want to see some different people real quick. Get a wider view.
volunteers. I don't know where they at. I saw Monique right here. Where you? Oh, all right. Why don't our volunteers just come on across? Come on over. Get yourselves right over here. There they are. Let's float on. Come on in here. Come on. There you go. Dance. Queens. Come on.
We've been listening into LaShawn Ford give a victory speech when a very crowded field, 13 Democrats, 2 Republicans have been vying for this seat on both sides, obviously. He did say that Melissa Conyers-Irving did reach out to him to concede. However, at this point, CBS is not officially projected this 7th Congressional
many
District
open
race.
tabs or something.
We want to bring to you, LaShawn,
I'll see what I can do. See if we can find a better
crowded room, and this is the seat that was held by the retiring Representative Danny Davis.
The one projected winner we do have is Donna Miller in Congressional District number 2. All right, let's bring our panelists back in. And Mayor, I want to revisit a topic that we left on, and that is the situation of this endorsement that involved Juliana Stratton reportedly coming from Jesse Jackson before his passing.
There we go.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a mistake on her part to embrace that, talk about it publicly without really vetting it.
What happened in the end?
Well, I think what happened was there were some overeager people at Push. Reverend had historically done endorsements, but the family said there's no way he would have stepped in and done an endorsement in a race where 2 Black women were running against each other. And candidly, he wasn't in a physical condition, certainly not in the weeks before his passing, to have done any of this. So I think somebody got a little overeager, printed up a palm card, passed it out, but it wasn't sanctioned by the family, and it definitely wasn't sanctioned by Push, which, by the way, is a 501c3 charitable organization, which can't endorse anybody.
Okay. Right. Well, on that note, CBS now leaning Stratton in the race for Senate.
All right. So if we continue this conversation before we go to additional results, let's talk about where we have Juliana Stratton, Robin Kelly, Raja Krishnamurthy, those 3 front runners. And at this stage, the money, we were talking earlier about $30+ million for Raja. There were sizable amounts for the other candidates as well. But when it comes down to it, this is the numbers leaning with 68%. When it comes down to it, though, Raja, at this stage, that money didn't translate into all the votes that he probably expected, Tom.
Yeah, I think you're right. And, money is one piece of it, but message is another important piece of this. And so while Raja was out early, was out often, was out really before anybody else in the race went up on the airwaves, the message was not moving the numbers the way that I think he was looking for it to do. He came out as a well-known name, had been advertising in the Chicago market for years. Even when he didn't have heavily contested congressional seats, he was up on the air.
Yeah.
And so I think he started with a base, but wasn't able to build from there. I think one of the pieces that Juliana Stratton brought into this is the money that really was spent on her behalf came from a super PAC. And so by law, a super PAC cannot coordinate with the campaign. They cannot talk to the candidate. And so it's really kind of a unique situation in which,
in theory,
that's right. We see a lot of workarounds and what the public signals of what they should be talking about. But I think it really reflects that the folks who are running Juliana Stratton's super PAC understand Illinois Democratic primary voters. This is the Pritzker team who came in. They've run several successful races here. They have a good understanding of who they were targeting and what message was successful in targeting Democratic primary voters.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We are at Preckwinkle headquarters right now, waiting for Toni Preckwinkle to take the stage for her acceptance speech. And while we wait for her to do that,
without some of that corporate influence and interest. You want to help us build that here at Status Coup. Go to statuscoup.com/join. For as low, again, as $5 a month, $5 a month, that's 16 cents a day. You go to help keep us editorially independent and ensure that there is a truly independent media outlet in this country. I'm going to go find some more folks here to interview. Pardon me, folks. I'm a reporter. I'm interviewing people about why they're here, why they support the campaign, the message that they're hoping the campaign sends. Would any of you mind if I did an interview with you? No, I'm all right. You guys are all good? All right. Can't make it. Thank you. Hi there. I'm a reporter. I'm doing interviews. Would you mind if I interviewed you? I already got him.
You're absolutely I'm not a voter though. I'm an immigrant, so I can't vote. I'm just a
What's been involved with the campaign for a very long time.
Yeah? You're involved with the campaign. I'd still love to hear why you wanted to get involved in the message that you hope it sends. And why.
Do it.
I was very frustrated with the sitting congresswoman not having any challengers for years. I've been here since 2021, so I've seen a few primaries. That was very frustrating to me, and like her age has been creeping up. So when this primary came around,
Can we do this over by my camera?
oh my God, no! I'm so scared of being deported. I'm so scared of being deported.
That's totally fair. That's fair. I can't force you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm sorry to bother you.
Oh my God, no, you didn't. Absolutely. Enjoy the night. It's all good people around here.
Pardon me, folks. I'm a reporter. I'm out here doing interviews about people who are involved in the campaign, about why they want to be involved, the message they hope it sends. Would you mind if I interviewed any of you?
Last time you won, I can't vote for her, so I would feel like a fraud. I don't live in this district. I'm just here. Also, Status Coup.
Yes.
I love you guys. You guys do good work.
Hell yeah. I don't care if you voted in this district or not. I still am interested about what your involvement is with the campaign and about the message that you hope that this sends to the broader Democratic Party or to other progressive challengers.
I've never been interviewed like that. I think I'm good for now.
Okay.
Maybe.
Anybody else in this group feeling brave?
I'll do it.
You'll do it? What's your name?
I'm Leela.
Leela? Nice to meet you. I'm JT.
Nice to meet you.
Bring you over to my camera right over here.
On camera?
Yep. You can do it. You can do it. I'll keep it easy on you.
You are wearing a cap. I know, but I'm sorry. I apologize.
All right. Pardon me, folks. Pardon me, guys. I'm a reporter. I'm interviewing people about why they wanted to be involved with the campaign, what the message they hope that it sends to the rest of the country, to other Democrats, is from tonight. Would you guys mind if I interviewed you? Sure. My camera's over here. What's your name? Jade? JT, nice to meet you. Come on this way.
Wait.
Without telling her to pull.
All right, Jade, I'm going to have you put this on. I'll clip this to your skirt.
Try to speak up a little bit over the music if you can, and I'll adjust this down. All right, Jade. If I can have you start, just spell your name for me, please.
Jade, Renato, Jade, and last name, Granato.
And what's your involvement with the campaign?
Volunteer.
Volunteer. What made you want to volunteer for Kat's campaign?
I agree with Kat's political worldview. She was the only major candidate to call it a genocide. I liked her grassroots funding. I thought she had integrity, and I thought she was a good person and a good candidate.
Good person, good candidate. What was everything that you did out on the campaign trail for? Your volunteer? What did you do?
Door knocking, phone banking, text banking, screen printing, anything.
You're not the first person to bring up, genocide as a word here in this conversation when I asked why you supported Kat. I got to admit, that's an issue that's important to me as a person as well. But I just kind of always assume that sort of worldview, like the importance of Palestine or foreign policy in general, is something that isn't really important to more people, right?
I think it crosses a moral line.
Yeah, did you run into that in your door knocking and stuff? Did it come up with more people?
Yeah, of course it came up. It's a very Jewish district, one of the most outside of New York. So a lot of people have mixed relationships with Israel and how they feel about it. And yeah, I rubbed up against that a lot, especially in certain communities in Israel. There's a big generational line on that. I think younger people feel the moral line being crossed, and older people are more, at least, conflicted about it.
Well, at least conflicted. So, it's not even that you're running into people who are we have to support Israel full stop, or at least not as many, right?
That, but a lot of older people, it's like a mix.
It's not like this isn't important, but I do want to hear some other stuff. Let me put on.
Right now, we're seeing Kat get about 25% of the vote so far.
Some news from the broader race here.
In our interactive election sphere for House District 7, here you see LaShawn Ford. We heard from him just a few minutes ago, speaking to his supporters at his watch party tonight. With 81% of the vote in, he's got 23%. Normally, you would think here, Melissa Conyers-Ervin, she is the city treasurer, and she with at 20% and LaShawn Ford at only 23. It seems pretty close, but we've got a lean for Ford, and we know he's feeling confident tonight. Again, that is for Illinois House District 7 in the primary race for the Democrats. Next up, we are looking at District 8, and it's been pretty clear through much of the night. We had a feeling that Melissa Bean, who wanted to return to this seat, would pull out ahead as the winner, and right now, or the projected winner, I should say. Right now, these numbers are leaning Bean with 84% of that vote in for House District 8. We'll continue our round robin and go to our next race as we look at both the federal, our state elections, and also some of those Cook County races. Now to District 9. Boy, this has been hard fought. It seems that Daniel Biss, as we're leaning Biss at this point in the evening, he has 30% of this vote. We showed you at the start of the show the very unique shape of Congressional District 9, stretching from the lakefront areas like Evanston all the way out past O'Hare. And Evanston, of course, is where Daniel Biss is there right now. Likely that he's getting a good amount of support from that area. And you see he's up 4,400 votes right now, a little bit before that, beating Kat Abughazaleh, who is coming in at 25% of the vote. Let's get the check here. 82% in right now as we get close to 9 o'clock. The race for Illinois governor, when it comes to the Republicans, Ted Dabrowski pulled out early in the evening, but with more of the vote in, 42% right now. You see Darren Bailey, who's once again trying to make a run for the Republicans for the office of governor. He has 50%.
I would love to see Kat Abughazaleh be the representative from my old city, Evanston, Illinois.
This is, let's see here, Don Tracy. I want to get a closer look at some of these numbers here. That is Don Tracy at 40% of the vote. You see him leading by 55,000 votes at this point. Pretty sizable lead, and he is our projected winner for the Republicans in their primary for U.S. Senate. That's 41% of the vote, and a little lower number as opposed to some of the other races we've been watching tonight. Now for Illinois Comptroller, here you see Margaret Cook getting a big endorsement and some major commercials. You may have seen it from Governor J.B. Pritzker, touting his support in just the last few days, 66% of the vote in. And right now we see her with 36%. Her challenger, Via, with 33% of the vote. Again, 66 in so far. I want to of our lower ones, but at 9 o'clock, not too shabby for an Illinois state office. And here we just heard from Toni Preckwinkle, again, the projected winner to continue her job as Cook County Board President. You see there, she's the incumbent, a pretty huge, I mean, this is a sizable gap between Brendan Riley, who really put a lot of pressure on, especially as we discussed the issue of property taxes. That has been the biggest topic that we had in this race, and that's where a lot of pressure was put on Preckwinkle, but she pulled ahead tonight. We now want to go to our reporter who is at Juliana Stratton's headquarters. That is Dave Savini. He has a look at what is happening inside. Dave, give us the latest.
Marie, it has become electric here over the last 20 minutes as the results continue to roll in favor of Juliana Stratton. About 69% in, 50,000 vote lead. They're dancing, they're jumping up and down. Every time they see those numbers, it is just hard to explain. And you're going to see more of it because this crowd just keeps building. Sending it back to you, Marie.
There, thank you so much. Now let's check in with Tara Molina. She is also covering the race for the Illinois Senate. Tara.
Yeah, very different vibe here in Raja Krishnamurthy's camp. We actually saw them turn off one of the TVs that had been broadcasting the latest numbers, the latest polling in the past 30 minutes. That went off once she started kind of taking the lead, she being, of course, Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton. We've also learned in this party, I told you, it hasn't really been quite as upbeat as these typically are, even before we saw her take this very significant lead. And of course, now leaning her direction officially. We learned that the prices here are kind of exorbitant. Folks here are paying about $30 or not $30, $13 for a bottle of water or a soda. Now, keep in mind, a huge theme of this entire race here has been the amount of money that Raja Krishnamurthy fundraised to try to get this Senate seat. $30 million, more than that, actually, the second most in this election season across the country, and by far the most here in Illinois. So kind of a somber mood here tonight. That's quite a bit of money spent on a campaign where things may not end up going their way, but we'll have to see. Back to you guys.
Okay, Tara, thank you.
All right, Mayor. I mean, this has got to be the shocker of the night so far for a couple of reasons. Not necessarily that Raja lost, but that he's lost to Juliana Stratton. What does this say about the influence of J.B. Pritzker and the ability to overcome $30 million?
Yeah. Well, you can't underestimate the fact that she was synonymous intentionally with a popular governor of Illinois. You can't ignore the fact that he put $5 million on the table for her and a super PAC, and they continued to raise more and more money. If you looked at the ads that were run in favor of Juliana Stratton, but also the ones that were opposing Raja, those all came and were funded by the super PAC. So that super PAC funding made all the difference in the world for Juliana Stratton. And look, Raja was up on the air since last summer. He was riding a tide until he wasn't. And the money that he took and where he got it from seemed to make a big difference.
Now, speaking of Raja here, his seat that he gave up to run for Senate, 8th Congressional District, we actually are hearing that Melissa Bean will soon be speaking. Let's go to her. She is actually at the podium.
Thank you.
The money he took and where he got it from made a difference.
Our founding fathers understood that democracy is fragile. Benjamin Franklin recognized that a new government was a republic if you can keep it. And tonight, the people sent a message that we intend to keep it. I want to thank everyone. Thank you.
No applause. Poor thing.
I want to thank everyone who voted tonight, who participated in this important election, and to holding to account all of our elected officials and restoring our Constitution. Thank you for making your voices heard, particularly in this freezing cold Chicago weather. And that includes to those who didn't vote for me as well. Tonight, the voters have spoken. And while I've been honored to serve as your voice in Congress before, I'm humbled that you've placed your confidence in me again as your nominee for Illinois' 8th District of Congress. Thank you. I want to thank my friends, family, and fellow Americans who've powered this renewed movement with their unshakable belief that our government belongs to the people. And tonight, we begin the work necessary to take our democracy back into our own hands. Let's take a moment to thank my opponents in this race. I know firsthand how grueling and demanding campaigns are and the immense sacrifice they and their families have made. Anyone with the courage to step up to support our community deserves applause. The Democratic Party is a big tent with a deep bench. So I was not alone on this campaign trail calling out the chaos, the corruption, and the cruelty of this administration. Every candidate and each of you here worked tirelessly to rally our neighbors and remind them that Democrats share a simple goal. The government
all we know
can
from her
and should.
is that all we know from her is that she was endorsed by Pritzker and Spritzker. I don't remember how the damn name anymore. I'm too tired. Spritzker, and he's the governor now, the same one who's fighting against ICE. And it turns out that those type of principles, that type of fight. Now he is a rich fuck, I promise you. But he didn't spend that amount of money as his pockets would allow. What he did was endorsed somebody who he believes would follow the same principles of getting rid of ICE, of keeping democracy, of fighting against these a-holes. So I'm glad that she won. I don't know much about her either. I'm sure we'll find out more. This is just a Democratic primary, but
amazingly detailed maps breaking down how the vote broke in the Chicagoland area by different demographic groups. But you're not, unfortunately, going to see that tonight. And I think it complicated the picture for us a little bit, but I will say only a little bit, in less than I thought it was going to, because that division we were showing you over and over in the Senate race there between Chicago and Cook suburbs was the picture that painted was just so clear and so consistent. I thought coming in the night that Krishnamurthy would be winning the suburbs by a very good margin, and it would be a real tough kind of math game to figure out which one was going to add up to more, the city of Chicago for Stratton or the suburbs for Krishnamurthy. Again, the last we checked, she was ahead in the suburbs too. So that ended up, the fact that she was competitive in the suburbs, that was, when we saw that and it wasn't changing after 120,000 votes, I think we knew where it was going. What else we got? Anything?
People want to know when the next race is.
When is the next race, Adam?
I think April 7th. I think we'll do the conclusion of Georgia 14. And we'll see what else is going on.
The Georgia runoff.
That's right.
In the Trump plus 37 Northwest corner. No, I got to sell it. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. But we're going to do these.
Trump plus 37.
Maybe we should just put a schedule up for the rest of the year. We're going to be doing these,
It's
well
Marjorie
through the
Taylor
summer.
Greene.
Do you know when the last one is? The very last primary?
We go well into August.
Yeah, we're doing this into August. I'm not taking a summer vacation this year, folks. I don't really ever take one. No, it's not true. Sometimes I do. But we're doing these.
Yeah, so they're talking about Marjorie
we're looking
Taylor
for every
Greene,
reason we can.
and the guy who has a chance to be the person running in her place. The guy is actually, I think he might be a veteran, but I know he's black,
August 18th,
Democratic,
Florida. Okay.
in a place where the most racist knuckle draggers of all time come down from the mountains
April,
to vote for idiots like Green.
21st, right?
He has an uphill battle for the first
21st,
time in a long
16th,
time.
New Jersey 11.
No such thing as an
Right, so
uphill
it's not just
battle
primaries.
when
The special election to fill Mikey Sherrill's seat in New Jersey.
so hated.
We'll do that April 16th. The
And
redistricting
Marjorie Taylor
referendum
Greene
in
ran
Virginia.
out
We'll do
that
that April
race
21st. So we got
because
a
of
lot
how
more of these.
much
These have been
she
great
doesn't
fun.
have to not campaign.
I'm sorry.
It was
Like
very
I
easy for her
owe
to
you
win.
guys an apology because I kept saying all
As a
day
QAnon
online if you're
member.
watching,
Now,
send comments and questions.
a
We're
little
gonna
harder.
we're gonna figure out a way to integrate this more into the, because I know you guys are like, if you're watching this, you're really into this and you're like, you got interesting thoughts on it, and
has a YouTube.
I want to kind
Kat
of
Abughazaleh, yeah, I know she has a YouTube channel.
But I think we'll wrap it up there because I think it might be a while on what.
We'll come back to Kornacki in a little bit. Status quo is getting a little
And
bit more.
that distance continues to close ever so slightly. And I want to point out a little bit of what of a feat this is. Kat Abughazaleh, well, there's a lot that's been made about her being like a, an influencer, really a journalist. Before this, and having some kind of profile, she worked for national publications.
Yeah, and it just keeps doing this.
I'll point out she's 26 years old. She was a relative unknown at the time.
That is annoying. Okay. All right. As I lose all the people watching, I'm going to try status quo again to see what the problem is. They were talking about Kat Abughazaleh, but by the time we hear it, it'll all be done. Maybe we'll get some good facts.
She started running, and she is this competitive with the current mayor of Evanston. That's Daniel.
Okay, so I'll move it back a little bit. Let's see how that works. Yeah, I'm done. We'll watch this one, see what they got going on until I can figure out what's going on with status quo.
Going forward, during the Trump administration?
Well, when ICE and Border Patrol came, I issued an executive order prohibiting them from being on our property. I wish I could have prohibited them from being on our streets and sidewalks. This government is cruel in pretty remarkable and disturbing ways, and especially in its treatment of our new arrivals and immigrants.
When we think about this might be your last term, is it?
I've said it's my last term, yeah. I'm going to do my very best for the 4 more years, and then I'll figure out what I want to do when I grow up.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Congratulations and happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was Cook County Board President.
Okay, so I want to show you exactly
I think she ran a really good campaign, and I think, unfortunately, as you know, and as everyone else knows, and as
good news,
take over, and how they could try and manipulate the voter base and the electorate over and over.
Spell it out for people. Spell it out. Make it simple. Break it down. All right.
So
I'm going to take notes. How did the big signs for Daniel Biss out in yards? Like, he just clearly had a presence here and was a known quantity and a known factor. When you're the current mayor of one of the largest cities in gain at this rate, if she can pull ahead, it'll be. I want to point out a little bit of what of a feat this is. Kat Abughazaleh, well, there's a lot that's been made about her being like a, an influencer, really a journalist. Before this, and having some kind of profile, she worked for national publications like Mother Jones before running. Well, there's a lot made of that. I'll point out she's 26 years old. She was a relative unknown at the time she started running, and she is this competitive with the current mayor of Evanston. That's Daniel Biss. is the current mayor of Evanston. And Evanston, Illinois is a huge part of this district. I don't want to act like it is the entirety of the district, but it is a large chunk of it. And Daniel Biss is a name, a known name here in the 9th district. I'll just say from when we were on the ground, this is just anecdotal, but when we were here on the ground in Chicago during Operation Midway Blitz for 2 months, the few times that we would come through the northern part of the city here as we're tracking ICE's movements, and we would drive through the 9th district, the district that we are in right now for this campaign, we noticed that there was a huge chunk, or many signs for Daniel Biss out in yards. Like, he just clearly had a presence here and was a known quantity and a known factor. When you're the current mayor of one of the largest cities in the district, that's going to happen. But as we just heard from some of the volunteers out here, Kat's base is actually in the city of Chicago, the northern edge of which, some of the northern neighborhoods of which is really her base of support. Younger voters, more progressive voters. Daniel Biss's base is in Evanston, where he is the mayor, and then more refined in some of the more outlying suburbs, the wealthier parts, was really where her base was. I am just looking up currently just some more commentary here on the race from some of the election Twitter and Blue Sky folks, just to see if there's any new analysis on this particular race.
Not very valuable. I'm sorry, Status Quo. I'm not sure what's going on. This is just not valuable. I mean, I just don't know what we're doing on that program right now. I guess because when you're losing, you're invested in that win. But yikes, man. Let's see what else we got here.
That never leaves her
Now,
side.
who's
She's
this
around here
one?
somewhere. Right, we got Kitty,
Looking
we got
red.
Tina, we got Sherry, we
Oh
got Jessica,
God!
we
Look
got
at the
Becky, we
dorks
got
in the
Sandy,
background.
Gail,
Look at this dork.
Isabella, Kenneth,
Look to this
Ronnie,
guy's
Christina,
right.
Blaine,
His right, your
Matt,
left of him.
Eric,
The
Pop,
dork in the
Carolyn,
background looks
Chuck,
like he belongs in
Tom, you know
somebody's
you're watching on Facebook,
racist
Tom.
text message
Amanda, I
group.
know you're at home. You couldn't get off of
And
work
then
because you work hard, but I'm calling
the,
you out. David, Paul, Braden.
I don't know.
But that one, that Lisa, thank you.
I don't know.
Listen, every time on the road, I've told you this personally, but I want everyone here to
I don't
hear
know
it.
if he's a Republican
I've given
or not.
hundreds of speeches,
But
and they're
dang,
pretty
if
much
he's
all the
if
same
he's
as we've
the
been on the road. But
Democrat.
every time I look to her, she
Darren
nods,
Bailey
she's smiling, she's
campaign.
listening, she's
Nah,
not on her
obviously
phone.
he's got to be
She's
a
smiling.
Republican.
She gave me the
As a
confidence
governor.
every
All right.
time. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't care.
You thought for a second I forgot about you, didn't you?
You don't care. I don't care.
I didn't forget
Nobody
about you.
cares about that.
And so many others across the state.
Let's
You
see.
showed up early.
Let's
You
see.
stayed late.
Let's see what
You
happens
prayed
when
for us.
Status Quo
You believe
interviews TYT Sports guy, the only guy left on TYT that we can all enjoy and trust and watch without feel like having to take a shower afterwards. Let's see what he has to say.
Yeah, let me throw this on here.
All right. What's up, everybody? How we doing?
I'm here with Rick. Rick, can I have you start? Just spell your name for me.
It's Rick, R-I-C-K, Strom, S-T-R-O-M.
What's your connection to the campaign?
So I work in media as well. I work for the Young Turks Network. So I've known Kat for a little bit through media when she was with Media Matters. I think she ran a really good campaign.
Are you here tonight as a journalist or for Kat?
I'm more so here in support.
More so here in support.
Yeah, I think she ran a really good campaign, and I think, unfortunately, as you know and as everyone else knows, and as independent media people who take it in knows, this is exactly the problem with politics, is that we are seeing the infusion of money take over and how they can try and manipulate the voter base and the electorate over and over.
Spell it out for people. Spell it out. Make it simple. Break it down. All right.
So
I'm going to take notes. How did the big money influencers come in on this one?
Oh, the big money influencers. So basically what happened in my view is we saw Kat falling really low. She started gaining some ground. And then we saw a mixture of a what I would say is not a third-party candidate, but like a third candidate who might siphon votes away. There are some rumors that one of the candidates that got 4,000 to 5,000 votes got some infusion of money to stay in the race when they vowed to get out of the race. Didn't necessarily happen. She stayed in, potentially siphoned off votes off of Kat. And then a lot of money coming in against Kat on the TAC ads, which can only help some of the people that wouldn't benefit if she were not to win. So we're going to see how it plays out. Hopefully it plays out in Kat's favor. I'm rooting for her. I'm sure a lot of people online and in the chat, I'll check it out after this. Again, I didn't know you were live.
Oh, you're all right, man. You're all right, dude.
But yeah, I'm hoping that we see some sort of an upset, but it looks a little daunting at the moment.
A little daunting at the moment. So, Rick, yeah, like, she has been gaining in the night. You just described it as a little daunting. Like, what's your optimism, pessimism?
I'm only seeing what mainstream news is showing you. You know, I'm only seeing that like every. What would you? I mean, it's a good question from the outside looking in. First off, I would say this: you have a career in this. Like, do not doubt yourself because you lost to a guy who is probably going to be like an okay candidate. It's really interesting because she has done so much great work as a journalist on the far right. I would say for the time being, go back to that, because as we are seeing the Ellisons and many others buy up our media, what we really need right now is more voices like hers in media if she were not to pull it out. Advice-wise, I would say do it again. Run it back, honestly. I would love to see a rematch in a few years if this were to win, of course.
Let's flip it now, okay? So, like I said, the lead that Biss has been narrowing as more votes come in. If Kat's able to pull it out, it'd be razor sharp. But let's imagine a future where she does. What's your advice to her? How do you want to see her govern when she's just one of 435 voices in Congress? Full steam ahead.
Full steam ahead.
What does full steam ahead mean?
Just like shake shit up. Like, you cover this stuff, I cover this stuff. The one thing we don't want to see is someone who's like going to promise all these things and then break promises. Like, what I would want to see from her is, and she hasn't really answered the question when members of the press have asked, like, do you want to join the squad if you were to join Congress? And she's like downplaying it, not giving a straight answer. What I would say is align with the people who got you elected, which she absolutely would do. And again, the one big red line, what should be a red line for everybody within the electorate, is do you take corporate PAC money? She hasn't. So I think she's going to be clean as a whistle. Probably in the category of the...
I want to see these maps. Because I have a feeling that...
Okay. So,
I mean, it's
Rick,
over.
I grabbed you. You came up just to say hello to me.
and then
I wrote you and all this. So I appreciate you being kind for all this. Oh, I did remember one thing that what you said just sparked a memory for me. You were talking about, see so many candidates who promise so much and then achieve, jack shit or, drive in the complete opposite direction when they're actually in office. We've been talking about Broadview, which is the ICE detention facility here in the greater Chicago area, that public black site that exists in full view of everybody, where there are protests still going on, by the way.
Yes.
People still getting arrested by Illinois State Police by Governor Pritzker, a Democrat state police, for standing up and protesting against that site. But what we saw out there at that site was we saw both Illinois senators go out and make one visit to that site where they performatively brought some water bottles to the protesters.
Yeah.
Performatively brought some water bottles to the protesters, and then apparently had tried to ask to be let inside of the facility. We're told no, and then
they got
held
pretty please. Was basically
yeah. Please let us in.
Yeah.
And then when they were told no, held a big press conference in front of 1 million cameras.
Humongous
million press.
How many people would you say were there?
Oh,
at least
for
50?
press? Oh God, yeah, huge. It was the most out of any day out there. Fuck all the days when people were getting tear gassed and arrested. When two senators come to performatively deliver water bottles, all of a sudden all the corporate media is there. Jesus Christ, screaming at all of the press who's been out there day after day, like, get down out of my shot, get out of the way, talking over all of us and the questions we want to ask. Fuck that. That's not the soapbox I came to stand on. But thank you. But they give that speech and leave, both Tammy Duckworth and Dick Durbin. What do they then fight for in the Senate? Fucking shit. There's a government shutdown, then the Dems cave on. There's now another shutdown of just DHS, where the Dems are pushing for just moderate reforms, nibbling around the edges, pushing for body cameras as if having another angle on all of the brutality that is happening out here is somehow going to stop it. When what people really need, and what we're hearing from people on the ground in all of these cities, is they want Nuremberg trials. That's what people want. So that is like the kind of candidacy and insanity it feels like you're living through when you're reporting on this stuff, and oftentimes screaming into the void. Rick, thank you so much for that little bit of catharsis. I needed it.
Thank you.
I'll pay you for my therapy session later.
You guys do great work.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
I love everything you guys do.
Sports status quo is 88.9% supporting.
Shout out to you guys, man. And shout out to everybody watching. Thank you for supporting independent media. It's very important in these times.
I steal that back from you, and I'll let you
I'm
back
hoping that
thank you for being here. I really appreciate it.
Will help us to know exactly what that next 11%
Probably wouldn't like me calling it beating a dead horse.
and
Sorry
if it
about that,
matters.
Jordan. But please, if you can, go to statusco.com/join. You can be a part of this new media revolution that is taking over right now, that a lot of corporate press doesn't know what to do with. You see the viewerships declining year after year for cable news and for mainstream news outlets, whereas independent media like Status Quo continues to grow. That is thanks to all of our supporters. If you have been with us here for the last several
outstanding, definitely do help them as well. I want to see who's talking, who is going to be running on the Democratic side, supported by Pritzker. And we all said when we saw her win that we didn't know much about her. So I think she's talking to people now.
And
Let's
right
hear what she has
now,
to say.
we, as I said earlier, we have a Congress that isn't doing their job and isn't exercising their legislative authority and letting the president run the country by executive fiat. That's not what our founders intended, and it's certainly not serving the people.
All right. Well, Melissa Bean, again, congratulations back in that 8th Congressional District seat, and we look forward to talking to you in the future.
Thanks for the time.
All right.
Time. Why do you want to go back?
Well, I think we need to get back to having a functional Congress. And I was fortunate enough to serve at a time when we did. And we got a lot of things done, like healthcare, like equal pay, like consumer protections on Wall Street. And there's so much more that needs to be done. And we need to protect and preserve the progress we've made and build on it. And that's why I'm ready to go back.
Melissa, this was a very crowded ballot with candidates like you, but also non-traditional candidates who raised a lot of money. When you were seeing some of the contenders that you were going up against, including Neil Cote, a business owner who raised nearly $2 million, what were your thoughts on strategy to get to this place?
I kind of went back to what I've always done, is just be out there talking to people, listening to people, building coalitions, hearing what their concerns are and trying to address them. That's what I've always done, is be a problem solver. And that's what we need Congress to be again, not a dysfunctional mess.
Well, that's what you're walking into. Safe bet. But Melissa, let me ask you this. There's talk that Democrats can flip the House, potentially could flip the Senate. Let's stick with the House because that's where you're potentially headed. How does that change the way the House looks if, in fact, that happens in the midterms in November? What changes?
All right, so House
the most
Representative.
important things is that we kind of get back to restoring our Constitution and having Congress act as an equal branch of government and as a check on the executive branch. And right now, we, as I said earlier, we have a Congress that isn't doing their job and isn't exercising their legislative authority and letting the president run the country by executive fiat. That's not what our founders intended, and it's certainly not serving the people.
All right. Well, Melissa Bean, again, congratulations back in that 8th Congressional District seat, and we look forward to talking to you in the future.
Thanks for the time.
All right. Now we want to go to Pat Hines. He is actually speaking now. This is
great state for placing your trust in this. I'm deeply humbled, and I promise you this, I will never forget who put me here.
In case you guys don't know, I don't know anything about the Republicans running for anything. And if that's what you're here for, unless that Republican is like, some amazing feat who's saying they come there to destroy Trump or saying something so horrible that we just have to watch it, like they can't wait for concentration camps, I'm not going to stick with whatever their fucking speech is. I can tell you that much. Not that, yeah, I'm sorry. There we go. Here we go.
Bishop Krishnamurthy, 33%, and Robin Kelly trailing at 18%. And this is, of course, for Senator Dick Durbin's seat in the U.S. Senate.
That's the big news of the night so far, probably the headline, certainly, as we've been discussing tonight. But she had been leaning Stratton for the last half hour or 45 minutes. Now it has been projected as Juliana Stratton is the winner.
I had no idea, Ken Dog.
Analyst now, and pick back up where we were with Darren Bailey. Tom, is there any chance that things couldn't be better? It's interesting to look back. You and I talked earlier tonight about how this worked the last time, where the Republican Party, Ken Griffin, got behind the Aurora mayor in Irving, and that the Republican voters said, no. We're going with Bailey. What has to change this time besides more money?
Well, Darren Bailey's talked quite a bit during this cycle about things that he learned from the last round. And so, to the mayor's point earlier, he learned he needs to talk to a different kind of voter. It's not enough just to talk to the base. It's not enough to talk to Southern Illinois, where, Darren Bailey represents, he's winning, 3-1 margins in Southern Illinois right now. That changes a lot when you get into a general election field. And so I think the Bailey campaign and Darren himself have this opportunity to try to talk about issues in Illinois. When we talk about some of the kitchen table issues, the quality of life issues, the affordability issues. Right now, there's a bit of a back and forth between the governor, who is not disputing some of the underlying facts, like we have some of the highest property taxes in the country, or the cost of living has grown to be a burden on a lot of families. He's just pointing the finger of blame to Washington instead of talking about several of the things that he's done here in Illinois over his 8 years as governor to directly contribute to those rising costs of living in the state of Illinois. That's what the issue has to get to.
Now, Mayor, you were saying it was interesting, some of the signs that were at their victory party at their headquarters, one of them being working families first. What do you think about that messaging?
Well, I thought that was very interesting. When you think about Darren Bailey from 4 years ago, he ran on a full-on embrace of the MAGA agenda. I was just thinking as Tom was talking about him coming to Chicago, going down, I think right off the Mad Mile, and talking about the hellscape that was Chicago, which particularly when you're standing down there,
I want to see what that last 10% is looking like.
He has definitely moderated his tone this time around. He is clearly trying to appeal to a broader base, which frankly, you wonder, where was he 4 years ago? He can't win without bringing in disaffected Democrats and independents. The numbers just aren't there for him without that. But so appealing to working families, which really is a theme of Democrats, to me is very interesting. Let's see how he leans into that theme as the general election campaign starts now.
Right.
All right, let's go to Raja Krishnamurthy. He has now taken the podium since Juliana Stratton has been the projected winner.
I have many, many people to thank for the effort they put into this campaign. I thank the many local Democratic leaders and county chairs across the state who had the courage to defy the party establishment and endorse the candidate with 29 letters in his name. In the classic Chicago story, I'm the guy nobody sent to be their senator. I thank the 14 unions, the leaders and members who believed I was the best candidate to fight for the future of working people and families. I thank the nearly 90,000 individuals who contributed their hard-earned dollars to my campaign, which enabled me to compete against very wealthy interests. I thank my hardworking staff who put in endless hours in a cause they believed in. This campaign may be over, but my gratitude and friendship will be forever. Most of all, I thank my family, my wife, Priya, and my 3 wonderful kids, and my parents. I could not possibly have done this without their love and support. Finally, I want to thank this country, the greatest country on earth, for giving an immigrant kid and his family the chance to live the American dream. Only in this country could my
I think I have somebody here I haven't seen.
There is tonight.
Who?
Big corporate money.
Oh, thank God. Tell us why.
Well, you know, you guys have seen AI, crypto, gambling interests, spending a lot of money, not just at the federal level, at the state level too. And of course, you know, AIPAC's less a corporate interest, but it does back kind of right-wing foreign policy. And so if you look at the primary results, you know, in the open federal seats, you had the Senate seat and then you had 4 congressional seats. The big money back candidates only won 2 of those at the federal level. And one of them, Donna Miller versus Jesse Jackson Jr., they both, you know, had backers on either side. So that one was kind of a wash. So really, Melissa Bean, who, you know, for a congressman, woman well known in the area, she only got 33% in her district, only beat her closest challenger by 6%, kind of a weak performance. And then you look at the state level.
There's a new channel, y'all.
You had, I think, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candidates at the state level who got a lot of corporate backing. It was Emil Jones, Chantel Franklin, Paul Kendrick, Adam Braun, Angie Kearney, Jamie Andrade, and Saba Hyder. Only 4 of them won, but, you know, of the 4 that won, 3 were already incumbents, and they should have won. Meanwhile, 2 of the ones that lost were incumbents.
Ooh, that's not good.
So, yeah. And, you know, that was a lot of, you know, gambling interests. They wanted to cut taxes on gambling winnings, I think. I forget what their exact beef was. And then AI people just wanted broad deregulation. They did not do very well tonight. And, you know, they only backed 1 open seat candidate who won, Paul Kendrick, who I went to high school with. And Paul, I know you're listening to WCPT 8 right now. We're going to keep an eye on you. Make sure you represent the people of that district.
There you go. Someone just texted in, suck it, Teal.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, it was, I think, DraftKings and Meta were the 2 big spenders at the state level. And then at the federal level, you know, it was AIPAC donors in a lot of these races. And it was a kind of crypto was really the bigger spender at the federal level. The fair shake people, and they got shook up tonight. So, you know, the good people of Illinois said, you know what, we can see right through this. And, you know, when you spend all that money in a primary, you risk becoming a story yourself. I think there were a lot of stories on the big money spending here. And, you know, for people who are having a tough time telling the difference between candidates' positions on things, being backed by the same interests that support Trump's agenda is a huge red flag.
It's really interesting, Aaron, because I've covered a lot of races, and of all the election nights I've ever covered, this is the one where it seemed like we saw the most PAC money coming into a primary of all things, and people really being uncomfortable with that, people not liking that, people not feeling good about a candidate because of that. I think that's wonderful, but I'm not sure. Do you have any data to tell us why that's happening?
I mean, I think it's just because it's such a higher level of spending than we've ever seen before. And I think just people hit their limit of this is unseemly.
I want to show you what's happening with Cat's race real quick.
You know,
I can get it in time. How fast? I need a producer. Who wants to be a producer? That's what I need.
Happens when you go to Washington. Yeah. CBS now calling the 9th District for
Here we are.
Daniel Biss. We can pass that along right now.
Yes, 90% of the vote in, and Marissa Perlman has been following this from Biss headquarters. So let's go to her right now. Marissa.
Joe and Erica, so good to be with you. Yeah, the word is starting to spread around the Biss for Congress watch party. The energy is growing. We have heard a few rounds of clapping and shouting here over the past couple of minutes. We just heard from the Daniel Biss campaign manager that we are expecting to hear from the Evanston mayor here momentarily. We just got about a 2-minute warning. They said well, a few minutes ago at least, said they are happy to see how this race is going. Again, as you mentioned, with 90% of the votes counted at this hour. They did say they are waiting for a few more results to come in, but it sounds like they have enough information where Daniel Biss is finally going to come out and speak about his hope to win the votes of this widespread district from the lakefront here in Evanston, parts of North Chicago, to past O'Hare Airport. Now, we do want to mention quickly, one of the biggest storylines in this race is just how many candidates were competing for this open seat. More than a dozen Democrats entered this primary for Illinois' 9th Congressional District after longtime Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky announced she would not seek another term. She has endorsed Daniel Biss to fill her seat, and she is here just walking into the room a few minutes ago. So we're hoping to speak with her here in just a few minutes. Again, as we've been seeing tonight with so many candidates splitting the vote, the winner only needs that relatively small share of the vote to come out on top. So again, we are moments away from hearing from Daniel Biss himself, the Evanston mayor,
You want to
in
know
this
why
very
that's
tight race. Again,
Hold on,
the
man.
social media influencer and journalist Kat Abughazaleh coming in a very tight second at this hour.
Social
CBS
media
calling it in
influencer and
favor of Daniel
journalist.
Biss. We'll bring that to you
That's
live
all
here
you
in
got
just
to
a few
say?
minutes. Joe, Erica, back to you.
Not
Okay,
advocate,
Marissa, thank you.
not
Let's get a little bit
activist.
more now on the Senate race and
We've
check
been
in with
feeding
Tara
the homeless. Here, you want to know who Biss is? Who Biss is, guys? I got you. This is so you know who Biss is. I don't want to change that. I don't want to change that one. I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put up something so you know who Biss is, right? I'm going to find it in my own videos. This is who won. See, this is why he won. And I live in a bubble. I live in a bubble, and I think to myself, there's no possible way that anybody who answers debate questions like this, or anybody who sees what Kat is doing out here, using all of her money to feed the homeless, to do obvious good work and not pad pockets, raising money through playing video games, not charging $1 billion for a plate at a dinner. Let me just see if I can find this. I live in a bubble, but what I realize is when the other people don't answer, right? When the other people don't answer questions and go midway and halfway, and the stuff that to me looks gross, like, oh my God, bro, did you really do that? Or did you really just say that about AIPAC? Or did you really just not commit? Right? When I see those things, I often forget, yeah, that person is doing that because that's how they won the last time. You just don't commit. You just go middle of the road. And there's enough people out there that you can convince with enough money that don't give a shit really, or that are just dumb enough to not really care. I can't seem to find my this awesome pick. So I'll just go back to what's happening at Cat's Joint Live, and I'll try to find out who Biss is for you. I'll find it out for you, and I'll bring it back in.
We're a small but mighty team here at Status Quo, but still a small team, so we can only out. So we will see. We'll see if she's about to leave. And then here, someone asked some of the other press out here if they've heard anything. Have we heard if they've given us the warning if she's coming out? No. Okay. Yeah, everybody's calling it at this point. Yeah. Okay. As I was saying earlier, Kat's staff had told press that we would get a little bit of a heads up when Kat.
Okay, so I'll be watching what Kat's doing. She's going to come out and give her concession speech. I'll be watching, but I want to show you who did win. This is Biss. Daniel Biss has beaten Kat Abughazaleh in the 7th district, I believe, race. This is who Biss is.
Do you support Hakeem Jeffries' continued leadership of the House Democrats?
That's who Biss is. That's who Biss is. That's who just won over Kat. Look again. Look again at the filth. Look again.
Do you support Hakeem Jeffries' continued leadership of the House Democrats?
Look at that. That's who this is. This is the type of people. Up YouTube. We look at it and we say to ourselves, nah, no way. He didn't just embarrass himself like that. Kat Abughazaleh humiliates corporate Democrats without even trying in a viral moment. That was my title for this. What I should have said was, smart politicians don't answer questions because stupid people will vote for them. That's the facts. Because if you believe too much one way or the other, stupid people are intimidated. And they just want to go back to watching Real Housewives, man. They got work to do. They got shit to do. And any other time, I would be saying that's normal. In the middle of a takeover of biblical proportions from Nazi wannabes and racist fuckfaces and child rapists that control the country, that destroy any progress Black and brown people have made in the past 70 years, that rip from the walls monuments of slaves, military men, soldiers, airmen, politicians, and even freedom fighters, ripped from the walls in place of mediocre whiteness to lord over all of us with a fake white superiority complex that's willing to destroy you and your daughters in the same name, white or Black. It doesn't mean what you think it means. It means the people who go like this get the most money and win and will lord over you. And you still have to vote for them. You think I would vote for the red? You think I'd vote for the Republican? In Skokie? In Illinois? You think I'd vote for the Republican in Evanston? Huh? In Skokie? In Highland Park? Fuck out of here. Yeah, I gotta vote for him. But this is who he is. Sorry. This is who he is. Knowing that is important. Because voting is the least you can do. Voting is the least you can do. What you do after you vote is way more important. The organizing, the calling, the pressure. This guy is a shrugger. You have a better chance of pressing him to do what you want to do if you're organized than you do the guy who thinks that brown people should be buried or used as slave labor and is just waiting and salivating for the day that he actually gets that to happen when Stephen Miller takes over.
Hold up your answers, please.
That's him. You couldn't have a better metaphor for middle of the road. You couldn't have a better metaphor for middle of the road. That's him. That's him. That's him. Why did you do that, man? That was ugly. Oh, that's embarrassing. Look at what this guy did. What a weakling. He just won. Him. He just won. So when you say what a weakling, remember, he just won. What he did was what he knew would win. It ends up being, as unfortunate as that is. The electorate needs to change now. Because you can't get any more clear than this. Let's keep watching. Oh my God. This is Biss. And here's the thing. This is Biss. You put up you're there at a debate. You couldn't, you know what? I'm not going to continue. I'm here. I don't know.
Is AI-generated content truly art? All right.
This is him. This is him. I hope you heard the question. Is AI-generated content truly art? This is the mayor of Illinois, not Illinois, the mayor of Evanston, Illinois. In the same place that they have Martin Luther King Jr. Laboratory School, where arts and arts and entertainment, visual arts, written arts, as well as diversity is praised. I went to that school, Martin Luther King Jr. Laboratory School. This is the mayor of that city. Is AI real art? Yes. You know why? Let's find out what AI companies are paying him, what warehouse he owns. That's all you need to know. Let's keep going.
Thank you.
Hold it up high for people in the back.
Do you currently accept campaign contributions from AIPAC or from those that are longtime supporters of AIPAC?
Thank goodness for that.
Would you vote to authorize further arms funding for Israel?
Look how quickly.
Further arms funding.
Look at this guy. Look at him. Look at this fucking fuckface. Now, number one, he doesn't get money from AIPAC or people who support AIPAC. Fine. I haven't done enough research to say he's lying yet. I'll take him at his word. Look at this. Look at this guy. Waiting to see what the other woman says. I wonder what the old bitch will say. Look at him. Look how quickly.
Further arms funding.
Look at this guy.
Would you continue to support further arms funding for Israel?
Look at this. Now I have to say no.
Or otherwise posed, do you support the continued funding of Israel?
She said yes.
Arms for Israel.
His face.
What?
Look at him. I'm going to take mine down. I'm not she's going to say yes. I just can't. Did you see that? It's the funniest thing I've ever seen since Bugs Bunny. This is This is Biss. This is who you elected. Look at this fucking no balls, limp dick, masquerading as a grown man, fucking fuckface that you just saw. This is the guy that they just elected over a cat in the Democratic Party. Oh, look how quickly.
further arms funding.
Look at this guy.
Would you
He's
continue
waiting to see what she says.
support further arms funding for Israel?
And then the minute he actually says what she means, I'm gonna
Includes all of
I
it.
didn't mean yes. I didn't mean no. I just can't. We gotta watch it again. I just can't. This is why we fail so fucking much. This is why we have an authoritarian autocracy in our government when we're supposed to have freedom fighters on at least one side. This is why. This fucking absolute spineless, squishy, jelly inside donut fuckface just got elected over a cat, and he can't make a fucking decision without seeing what the person beside him with a little more money than him is gonna say. Oh, I don't know. Oh, he. What do you think about genocide? Big boy? I don't know. What do you think about anything? Whatever she says. What do you think about authoritarianism and concentration camps in your city when it gets there? Whatever he says. That's why. Tell me, please tell me, Asia, that he lied there. I know he was getting 8-pack money from somebody. But anyway, we'll get back to the live show. This is your winner. That squishy jelly worm who digs holes instead of speaks loudly. That squishy jelly worm will dig a hole when he gets to Capitol Hill and further do nothing unless you force anything else out of him. Voting is the bare minimum. Voting cannot save you. You've got to vote. It's the very first step. Don't fucking tell me about not voting because they're both the same. You're as stupid as the rest of them, if that's what you say. Because voting is the dumbest, silliest, easiest thing to do. You've got to do that at least. Because if you can't do that, then you're fucking lying to about everything else you believe in. If you can't do the bare fucking minimum, you're lying. You're lying. You're standing on a soapbox and lying. That's the bare minimum. That doesn't help you. It doesn't do anything. All voting does is gives you someone to fight when you get there. That's all. I don't care if you're Cory Booker. I don't care if you're Bernie Sanders. Your job, your duty as a citizen is to first vote for the person who you think you can push the correct way and keep an eye on as a watchdog, and then you watchdog them for 4 years. That's how this works. They don't save you by going there. You wish it was Kat because you know she can be pushed and moved in the correct way. But it doesn't mean if it's not Kat, you don't vote. Because you are lying to everybody when you say that you believe in something. If you can't even do the minimum, the smallest amount, the easiest fucking thing, mail it in. Jesus Christ. After that is when you picket, protest, call, fax, show up. After that, meet, organize. From the neighborhood to the city. Then pick it again. That's the work of the citizen. Write. Study. That's the work of the citizen. The voting is the bare minimum. It's the dumbest, stupidest, easiest thing that you do to count yourself one. It doesn't save you. So if you're not going to vote because the person you didn't like didn't win the primary, you're a fuck up. You're stupid and you're failing all of us. It's not an excuse. But back to this. I hate that it's this bum that I'm going to have to vote for. That's how we approach the subject like adults. Let's go back to the primary. I don't know why I got so heated. I guess because this bitch ass won. That's why. I'm sorry. Whew. That went out. That got out of hand quickly, man. I'm sorry. That got out of hand quickly, bro. That got out of hand quickly. Oh. All right. So Kat Abughazaleh has not come out yet. I was going to show her concession speech when she does come out. I'll keep an eye on it. If I don't go off like that again, what we will do is we'll watch Biss. We'll watch Bliss's speech. You fucking piece of goddamn slimy snake shit.
Minutes or so, and let's start with the Democrats running for Senate.
So this is a straightforward calculation.
This fuckface. Look at, oh my God. Fucking cancer.
A few minutes ago, I received a gracious call from Senator Fine conceding.
We gotta watch, guys.
Had the race called by media
I'm
outlets.
still watching.
This has been a heck of a race.
We gotta watch.
15
He's the one we
candidates,
gotta vote for.
remarkable people who ran remarkable campaigns. I want to thank all of them for running, for putting themselves out there in this pivotal moment to try to heal this country. I want to particularly congratulate Kat Abughazaleh, Senator Fine, Senator Simmons, and I look forward to working with all of them and with everyone in this district to do the work to come. But I want to speak particularly about one person whose enormous shoes I have the task of trying to fill. Don't clap yet. Don't clap yet. One person who has been a political hero of mine since before I ever thought to run for office. One person who has been the conscience of our district and the conscience of the Congress for her 14 terms of service. One person who...
It's a good thing I can press pause. The conscience. The guy who holds the sign up halfway through and doesn't know which way to go is talking about conscience. Jiminy Cricket couldn't help you, bud. The conscience of what you look up to? You're a fucking snake. Oh my God. The conscience.
Every time she calls me, I get a little nervous.
Oh, you sound. Oh God. How much can we?
If you're not, if Jan Schakowsky's not proud of you, you're doing something wrong. It has been such an honor to be a resident of your district, to wake up every morning, Jan, relieved that you are fighting for us in Washington. It has been an honor to call you a friend. You have been such a mentor.
I'd like to know.
You have been such a role model. And let me say it now, we
she's
would
okay.
not be here tonight without your support in this race. Thank you, Jan Schakowsky.
I hear she's okay.
I love you. This race had everything. And it had fundamental questions about who are we going to be as a Democratic Party?
You didn't answer
them. Are we
them.
going to concede in advance, or are we going to fight?
You
Are we
didn't
going
fight.
to double down on our progressive values, or are we going to shrink away from protecting the most vulnerable?
You shrunk away.
And tonight, the voters spoke clearly.
That they don't
We're
care.
going to stand up. We're going to fight. We will not back down, and we will fight for the progressive values that are the values not only of this district, but of this whole country.
You lied. I can't wait to fight you when you get in there.
And there's a lot
I'm gonna
to
hold
fight
your
for.
ass to account, buddy.
To fight for an economy that works for everyone, where instead of the wealthy stuffing their pockets at the expense of the rest of us, we have housing that's affordable for all, childcare that's accessible to all, healthcare that's available to all, a tax code that actually works for today's economy and asks the wealthiest to pay their fair share, and a situation where when things get better in the aggregate, they get better for all of us. And we know why
What does
that's
that
not
mean?
happening right now.
I don't
It's
even
not a
know.
mystery. It's not a coincidence. It's because those with money have too much political power,
and pay
they
you.
use that political power to rig the system for themselves. It is time for Congress that asserts its power, that acts as a check on not only this administration, but the wealthy that have a stranglehold on our politics in America.
I'm recording this so I can use it against you. You lying sack of shit. You snake. You APAC
Now,
fondler.
I want to mention a particular issue that came up once or twice in this campaign.
Oh, let's see.
I am so proud of how we handled the question of Israel and
Oh!
Palestine. Maintaining my core, maintaining
I can't let that go. I'm sorry. I cannot let that one go. I can't believe he should have. I can't believe he just said that. I can't believe he just said that after what we just saw. So what I'm going to do is show it again. What I'm going to do is show it again. This is how he maintained his core on the question of Israel. This is how he maintained his core on the question of Israel. Allow me. He's getting paid by AI, but that's not important. This is important. Watch him. Watch him. Yes. No. No. Yes. What's she gonna say? What's she gonna say? Oh, I'm gonna go find down. I see her going yes now. I can't. I'm not gonna leave it up. You gotta watch it again. What core? What core was that? Did anybody else? Oh shit! Nobody. The video's not playing. I'm sitting here getting mad at myself. Y'all didn't even see the video. I'll show it again. Don't worry about it. I thank you guys for staying here. Still people here. I thank you for staying during that foolishness. I'll show it again. It's that important. Look at this guy. Look at this. Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
You vote to authorize further arms funding. Would you vote to authorize further arms funding for Israel?
Look how quickly.
Further arms funding. Would you
Look
vote-
at this guy.
Would you
He's
continue
waiting to know what he says.
support further arms funding for Israel? Or otherwise posed, do you support the continued funding of Israel arms Arms for Israel.
Watch this guy.
What?
When he sees she's going to say yes.
It includes all of it.
Now, I just can't. We got to watch it again. Look at this guy. His balls have been left on the kitchen table.
Or otherwise posed, do you support the continued funding of Israel? Arms for Israel.
Watch how
What?
fast he puts it down.
It includes all of it.
Yes. Oh, bro.
Can we?
This is embarrassing. Bro.
Everyone just hold it up all at the same time? Great.
Now he
Okay,
has to
thank you.
on my head.
Donations from Trump supporters or Republican donors.
Yeah.
Do
This guy. And just so you know, that his flip-flopping didn't just start there. When he tells you about staying with his core, watch this. This is him. Check this out.
Do you support Hakeem Jeffries' continued leadership of the House Democrats? Hold up your answers, please.
Oh my God. And here's the thing. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Yep. No, that was him. That was him. That was him. That was him. It's imperative that you know that. So when you hear him say things like, on this important question, I'm glad we stood at the core of what? The center, the sharp edge of the paper that had an answer on either side. That's the core you stood on, isn't it? Let me hear it again. I just love to. It's some people lie with
our core as a community.
It's an art form how they lie.
And there's a lot to fight for. To fight for an economy that works for everyone.
No,
Where instead of the wealthy stuffing their pockets at the expense of the rest of us, we have housing that's affordable for all, childcare that's accessible to all, healthcare that's available to all, a tax code that actually works for today's economy and asks the wealthy to pay their fair share. And a situation where, when things get better, in the aggregate, they get better for all of us. And we know why that's not happening right now. It's not a mystery. It's not a coincidence.
No.
It's because those
I
with
know,
money
that's not
have
it.
too much political power, and they use that
Where's
political
that?
power to rig the
Where's
system for
that?
themselves. It is time for Congress that asserts its power to act as a check on not only this administration, but the wealthy that have a stranglehold on our
Where's
politics in America.
Here we go. I think this is it.
Now, I want to mention a particular issue that came up once or twice in this campaign.
Yeah.
I am so proud of how we handled the question of Israel and Palestine.
How was that?
Maintaining my core, maintaining our core as a community, understanding the nuance and complexity of the issue, understanding that, yes, the state of Israel was a safe haven for my Holocaust survivor grandparents and their 2-year-old daughter, my mother, in 1948. And at the same time, that the oppression of the Palestinian people is an unacceptable stain on the world and on the Jewish people as well, and has to be ended. There was a lot of pressure in this campaign to move away from one or the other of those perspectives, and I was not willing to do it.
You lie. That pressure was on the person. That pressure was given to you by the person next to you. As you waited to see what she put up, and she was smart enough, savvy enough to show you no while she talked about the obvious question, well, does that mean this or that? And waited for you to put no up before she put yes up. She is savvy is what she was. You're the only one who didn't see it. I cannot wait to fight with you and you get elected or whatever it is. All right, we'll try a little bit more, guys. I don't know what I'm sure I missed a lot. I'm waiting for Kat to come out here. After she does her speech, we'll call it quits. Unfortunately, she just didn't get to pull it through this time. But she's 35. She's running for what seems like the right reason. And I can't wait to see what Okay. Still waiting on her to show up. That's fine. Let's see what the rest of these results look like.
We are continuing our primary night coverage as the results come in. Of course, that was Lieutenant Governor Julietta Stratton, with her accepting the nomination as the next senator of the state of Illinois. Joe Esposito, what a wild night it is. Now, that's an incredible race. It's obviously an incredibly important race. It was the biggest race of this season. We also have the controller's race that was, I believe, the only statewide race that was competitive. And Steve Lessman joins us from that headquarters from Margaret Croak, who continues to be in the lead. I don't know, have they called it yet, Steve?
Yeah, no, they haven't called it yet. We're still anxiously waiting. There's about 88% of the vote in, but we're still waiting. But in the meantime, Attorney General Kwame Raoul is standing with us, and he'd like to say hi to you guys and share a couple words.
Outstanding. Hello. Thank you so much. Hello, Attorney General Kwame Raoul joins us. How are you doing this evening, sir? You're out with Joe Esposito. Well. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm doing well. You know, this is primary day. I'm glad it has come. There's been a spirited debate amongst Democrat family, you know, and we've had a lot of highly competitive races, and I think that's healthy for democracy. The important thing is we always know that we have a primary Tuesday, but there's the day after, which is Wednesday, which is the day we need to come together. And that's what I'm trying to encourage all people who ran, those who are successful and those who are not. Every candidate who ran did something special by putting themselves up to scrutiny.
Yeah, definitely. And I thought it was great that Julietta Stratton, in her speech, mentioned both Raja and Robin and thanked them. And I thought that was very gracious. Not everybody does that.
It's very important, and you know, she's a class act. And it's important, it's incumbent upon both Raja and Robin to come.
Okay, we got Kat Abughazaleh's speech coming on here. Sorry to stop so abruptly, but this is why we're here. This is what's in the title. They had someone, a campaign manager, was on the stage a second ago. So I'm guessing she didn't say much. Maybe she was just testing the mic.
Love it, Cat! We love you, Cat!
Hey everyone, I don't know if you heard, but we didn't win, and it really fucking sucks. We came really close, and it sucks, but something that no one in power even expected would be possible at all. I need to stress to every single person in this room that this does not mean that the last year has been for nothing. Tens of thousands of people powered this campaign, knocking doors, making calls, donating what they could. We fed and clothed thousands of people across the 9th District. We forced our opponents to the left and to be more aggressive against this administration. We did all of this together from the ground up with everything against us. We had millions in APAC spending, dark money smear campaigns, institutional power, tipping the scales, and we made them use their entire arsenal, shit we've never even seen before, just to beat us. And that's just for now. We showed that politics can be more than backroom deals and reliance on the ultra-rich. It can be helping others, it can be a community, it can be a team sport. We were able to change the conversation in this district and nationwide. We have done so much that has never been seen before in American politics. And we have set a new standard for what people should expect from those trying to represent them. I am so incredibly proud of what we built together and deeply grateful to every single person who believed in this campaign, especially my staff. I'm not going to go further than that because I will cry because I love every single one of them so much. Shout out to our staff, please. You better turn around. I'm so astounded by how many of you that are with us have never been involved with a campaign or maybe never even voted. That's incredible. Whether you came here because you donated a jacket to our mutual aid hub, or because you saw us on a live stream, or because one of our volunteers wouldn't stop calling you. Thank you for being involved. And the work isn't over. There are progressives all over the country who are taking a chance just like we did, and we have to help them win. No matter how hard it is, we have to send a message to this administration and anyone who enables it, and I'm talking directly to them right now. You and your jobs are not safe. This is the start and not the end. We are not tolerating the status quo. You cannot kidnap and kill us and our neighbors. You cannot start illegal wars. You cannot trample on our rights and see our lives as a means for profit. We will continue to come back, and every single loss like this one just makes the path easier for the next person who takes the same chance. We are not done, and I am not going anywhere. When I said I would spend every single waking moment of the rest of my life to hold this administration accountable, win or lose, I fucking meant it. And I know all of you do too. So thank you for supporting us. I'm sorry that this sucks, but fuck Trump, fuck ICE, free Palestine, and I love you all.
Let it sink in. Let it sink in. I showed you who she lost to. And as he went up on stage talking about the core beliefs of a lymphatic response to every question that mattered. Do not let it stop you from doing your civic duty. As a citizen, your first duty is to vote. And then everything else after that is also a duty. The call, the fax, the email, the study, the listen, the watch, the organize, the galvanize, finding where you fit in. If you're a good orator, you report. If you're a good writer, you write. If you got two legs and nothing else, then knock on doors for the next candidate. And for the candidate and for the person who does win, when they get there, it's not the end. They are responsible to you. when they get there, whoever gets there, your job starts with an election. But it doesn't end on November 5th. Then it starts again. Will you demand more? Will you know the laws coming out? Will you study them? Will you write if you write? Will you talk if you're good at it? Will you teach? Will you knock on doors? Will you hold up the law that others can't read and say, hey, did you see this? This is what they're proposing tomorrow, next week, next month. I say we fight back. I say we show up. I say we give sticks and carrots. I say we donate as well as we withdraw funds. I say we force the people whose only thing in life to do is to win the next election by telling them that they cannot win the next election if they don't do what we ask. But they don't believe you unless you're there, unless you show up, unless you take a weekend, unless you get 10 people, unless you start something and do it again, unless you do it and then do it and then do it again. Be proud to do it as often as possible. Make yourself dates on your calendar that you show up, that you get there. Make yourself dates on your calendar that you prove to yourself you're a citizen worthy of the vote. The easiest part. Let's make sure this worm, Biss, wins. And then let's make sure he remembers who put him there. That's how you move forward as an adult. And anyone who tells you different, none of it matters. Because they can't even do the first easiest thing. I don't expect to see them out there on the picket lines when it's necessary. Get rid of them. Don't listen to them. They have no idea what it means to be a citizen of these United States. And they're not worthy of it, but they can have it anyway because it's given freely here. There's not a poll test here. There's not a ideology test here. You're a citizen, you're a citizen. But this channel will be giving you the education you need to become a proper citizen, worthy of that calling. And it only starts with voting. Don't let that discourage you from the rest of your citizenship. I'll see you guys out there. Time to fight is now.